Hi, my name's Kat. I own a brand called EQUEENE Equestrian. This is going to be probably the most socially awkward first ever YouTube video you're going to witness. So it's going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be something. I already up because I already don't know like where to look, and I probably can't use the word twice. Let's start again. Hi, my name's Kat. I own an equestrian clothing brand called EQUEENE Equestrian, and this is going to be my first ever YouTube video, which is just a bit of an introduction to me and the brand. And it's something that I've been meaning to do for ages because I just don't think there's anything out there like in the equestrian space when it comes to like clothing brands and really kind of showing people the behind the scenes stuff, like how you actually start a clothing brand, how you run an equestrian clothing brand and things like that. I just kind of wanted to do something that I wish was around when I started. So that's the thought process. I have tried to do this a couple of times and honestly just completely chickened out. So today is not actually my 35th birthday. So I think I'm just having a crisis and that's why I'm here. But probably will make, yeah, it's probably just going to be really awkward and I'm probably just going to be horrified at the way I talk and how I look on camera and how awkward I am that I probably still won't post this. But I'm trying, okay? 2025 has been my year for like trying to push myself out my comfort zone, trying to push myself out my comfort zone and do bits for the brand that basically terrify me. And so I'm here. Okay, I was rubbish at school. I wasn't rubbish. I could have been good at school, but I didn't apply myself. I think my life motto, I think what's going to be on my gravestone is kind of useless, but just didn't give up. But anyway, left school at 16 and went to work as a groom. So spent the next, 5 years? 5 years grooming and riding for someone, learning the trade. Again, was pretty useless to begin with. Can't say I got amazing towards the end. But just learnt my trade, like got to groom at some amazing shows, like both nationally and abroad. Got loads of riding experience in learning to ride different show jumpers and things like that. So like literally probably the best 5 years of my life. Rubbish money, no money whatsoever. I think I started off on about £50 a week, but I had like my accommodation included, my horse on livery and training and everything like that included. So I got more, but like literally the money that I got at the end of a week was £50 in cash. And it used to cost me 50. I live in Dorset and it was in Northampton. And it used to cost me £50 if I wanted to go home on a day off. So I used to have to save up my days off so that I could afford the petrol to drive home. Anyway, lols. That was a while back. There's like standards now and everything. But I would knock it for the world. It's my favourite job I've ever done. After that, I moved back home and got a little yard. I think it was a 6-horse yard to begin with, and just basically obviously kept adding stables to it. Ended up with a full competition livery yard. We had 20 something boxes. We had, I think, maybe 8 liveries, and the rest of horses were either like competition horses in work or youngsters coming through. We bred a bit. So my current horse, Isla, who I'll obviously refer back to because she is my life and soul. She was one of the horses we bred. So she's now, I think she's 8 now. Anyway, I divulged. This is going to be the worst video ever because it's just already rambling and that's just me. I'm sorry. So yeah, basically, obviously spent, I think it must have been 10 years in total in the horse equine industry, which I think, to be fair, has put me in such good stead for this brand because I am my customer and I know my customer through and through. Like, I've been in the industry for that long. I know the pain points that people working in the industry have. Like, I know standards are really good, like a lot better these days, but still the money in working with horses isn't amazing. You need a premium product because you are grafting day in, day out on the yard. So you need something that's not going to break, but equally, you don't want to spend something that's like a fortune, if that makes sense, which is obviously where the idea for EQUEENE came from. fast forward, there's a whole load of other bits involved in that, but I really don't want to ramble too much in this one video. I suppose let me know as well in the comments if you want a bit more information on running a yard. I was going to kind of go into a bit more detail on how I, obviously a lot more detail on how I started EQUEENE, but like maybe a bit more detail on previous work and things like that. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. And actually, to be fair, as a general rule, let me know what kind of content you'd actually be interested to see. Or if I'm totally wasting my time sitting here bothered to put makeup on today, sitting in the corner of my spare room, filming a video. Also possible. Anywho, long story short, I gave up the yard and got an office job. It was still with horses. It was like with an equestrian advertising agency. And did that for a few years. And then lockdown came. Went on furlough, got ridiculously bored, questioned my life choices. Like, what am I doing in my life? And the opportunity came up to be a yard manager again. And obviously go back, work outside, which I just felt was my calling in life. Like, I felt like I'm not getting anywhere in office life. I don't know what I want to do with myself. Working outside with horses is all I've ever known and all I ever wanted to do. So I went back. I thought, why would I not go back to the yard? Anyway, that turned out to be a massive mistake. But was it though? Because then that's obviously where EQUEENE came from. So anyway, it was when I went to go back to this yard. I was about to start and I was like, right, I need to look a bit tidy. Like, these are going to be full liveries. Like, I need to look the part. I need to look a bit like I know what I'm doing and everything like that. And I was searching and searching for a mid-range pair of breeches that looked smart enough that I looked neat and tidy on the yard, but like equally didn't cost a fortune, but I just couldn't find it anywhere. I ended up dropping like £400 on 2 pairs of breeches from a very, very, very well-known like higher brand company. You'd know it if I said it. I don't even think I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. Don't know. Anyway, dropped this amount of money on these breeches, and I thought, well, I'm going to live in 2 pairs of breeches for the next however long, but they're going to be really nice. And they came, and I just tried them on, and I absolutely hated them. I think my logic was, if I'm going to spend a load of money on these, they're going to be the best breeches I've ever bought in my entire life. And oh my gosh, I was so disappointed. Like, they weren't overly flattering. They weren't overly comfortable. I'm really tall, so I've always struggled with the length on stuff. They were like up to halfway up my shins, and I was absolutely gutted spending this much money on something. Couldn't return them. Didn't return them. I think I'd worn them a couple of times because I was desperate and then couldn't return them. And I just thought to myself, like, there's absolutely nothing out there that kind of meets my needs or what I wanted. I knew there were a couple of brands that kind of sold what I was after abroad. But then I had to pay, they're still quite expensive, like £100, £120 for a pair of like legging breech hybrids. And back this time there was nothing in the UK that was like a bregging, like a hybrid between breeches and leggings. Apart from like other brands abroad and stuff. And then obviously you had to pay import tax, things like that. So I was like, this is ridiculous. So I thought, how hard could it be to just make my own and make a clothing brand? Obviously, that's my logic. Anyway, cut forward, that's where the idea for EQUEENE came. It's a brand built completely out of need and what I felt like was missing in the horse world. We don't follow trends. It's not something, I don't want it to be like a fast fashiony equestrian company. Every single product has either been specifically designed by myself for a specific reason, like to benefit in my eyes the horse world, or equally it's something that maybe potentially does exist but not necessarily in the horse world. So like a load of the inspiration that I got for some of the ranges are from gym wear, because I spend like 99.9% of my time in gym wear, and so on and so forth. So it's really, what am I trying to say? I suppose like the brand has come out of a necessity. It's a problem-solving equestrian fashion brand. We are not just a matchy-matchy base layer and pair of breeches. So Yeah, I suppose that's basically the backstory of why I started EQUEENE and what it is. It's now, we're 3 years on. So this is coming up to, will be our 4th year in October, this coming October. And it's just been an absolute whirlwind. Like, I didn't have the money to start the brand. Money's been a struggle the whole time because obviously without having money to invest in stuff, it's nigh on impossible, which is why basically I still work full time. And yeah, so I thought the next sort of few videos, we're actually going to the National Equine Show next weekend. So I thought it'd be really fun to take you along to that and vlog it and show you kind of like all the behind the scenes and what we get up to at these shows. It's always a laugh. So that'll be hopefully quite a good little video. And yeah, probably just maybe go into a bit more detail in the coming videos about how I started EQUEENE, what it's really like running an equestrian fashion company, and all the background bits and pieces. So I really hope you like this video. I'm really sorry it's probably really rambly and doesn't make sense, but I'm just going to post it. Because if I've posted it and said I'm going to do another video, it means I have to do another video, doesn't it? So let me know in the comments section. I kind of want to make sure that the brand's always been kind of the sort of brand I base everything off of our customers. Not afraid to ask your opinion, not afraid to ask your advice. So I would love to hear from you in the comments section what content you'd like to potentially see from me on YouTube. And yeah, let me know what you thought of the video. I can't wait to do another video, and hopefully I'll get a lot better at it as well and just not so rambly, and I'm going to be to the point. I'm going to make notes next time. That's such a good idea. Why didn't I do that this time? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through if you have, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.